YouTube? It's your boy Rippin' Lips Doe. I'm back with another video. In this video, we're gonna talk about swim bait fishing in the early spring down south. So first things first, we're gonna get into hard baits. And the first hard bait I'm gonna pick up is a Shad imitation hard bait, which is probably gonna be the DS Custom 8-inch Shad or the DS Custom 6-inch. Either way, both of these baits are gonna get bit. If they keyed in on bigger shad, you're definitely gonna eat this one. If they keyed in on smaller shad, they are definitely gonna eat this one. This is the 6.5-inch, and it's an awesome bait, especially around cover. It has a chop motion. Also has it's a little wide, but not much, but you can't expect a wide glide out of a 6.5-inch bait. This bait is gonna be excellent when you're fishing heavy cover or around tree stumps, brush piles, things like that to draw those fish out that's hanging up in that deep brush. This is gonna be more of an open water glide. And I have got bit on this bait fishing it in open water. It has a lot of drawing power, a lot. I have seen fish follow this bait all the way back in to my little boat and just turn off, but it has a lot of drawing power. This is the DS Custom 8-inch shad. Next two baits I'm gonna use are gonna be the Mike Herman and DRT Working Class Zero. So this is the Mike Herman shad. He's a local builder right here from Louisiana. He makes an excellent saltwater bait and freshwater bait. I'm not too big on salt, but I have a lot of his saltwater baits, and I love catching redfish, so that's the only thing I like catching is redfish. But his bass bait, I have caught a ton of bass on this bait. This is my second one, and it got bit. The first one I broke off during the cast, so I nagged him enough for him to make me another one. And this is the Mike Herman shad. He's on Instagram, Donkey Bait Swim Baits, but on Instagram it's Mike Herman Jr. I have a link in the bio so you can follow him and check his baits out. This is the Mike Herman shad. And this is the DRT Working Class Zero. If you know anything about swim bait fishing, then you know this is pretty much a staple of the swim bait community. This bait gets bit everywhere in the US. It's an awesome bait. It's an erratic bait. It's not for everybody, but once you learn how to break this bait down and use it, it's gonna get you bit all year round, even in the winter months. If you fish like a jerk bait, put the small bill in, it'll get bit. Fish like a crankbait, put a small bill in, shallow diving bill, or you can put a deep diving bill in. It just depends on the type of body of water you're fishing. It'll get bit all year round. Next baits are gonna be gill color baits that work in the springtime too. So the first one up is Linkati Psychogear. I'm sorry, I call it Angry, but Psychogear. This bait is a wake and crank, but I've seen people on the farm say they got it down for us to 5 to 7 feet. So I'm very, very interested in using this bait a lot this spring, especially seeing that the fish that people catch on them, they catch nice sized fish, and I'm happy to have this bait. It was hard for me to acquire this bait, but I got it at a retail price. So shout out to the guy who did this. I don't want to say his name because I don't want people to spam him, but I really appreciate him hooking me up with this bait. Next bait that I'm gonna be fishing this spring, the Mike Buka Bull Shad Minnie. This is a 6-inch bait. I used to fish the Big Brother during the springtime. That's the 7-inch version of this, which got bit all spring. So I know this one here is gonna get bit all spring. And in some areas it probably get bit year round. But like I say down here, when it comes towards summertime, the bass get real lethargic and they get to eating smaller meals. So I'm interested in using this bait a lot this spring. Can't wait to see the outcome. And another one that I have acquired is the KVG Crappie. This is another cover glide, because the glide on it is so short. I plan on fishing this around a lot of structure, grass lines, things like that. It's typically where crappie hang out when they're spawning or just when they're holding up. this bait is gonna get snatched. It's a beautiful bait. Kevin fixed, I think Kevin said that I had his first version. The first version was a rod switch. This one here, you can actually use your reel and insert reel bumps, and it's gonna glide. It's not a wide glide. It's kind of short, but it still glides, which is good for me. I don't have to use my rod tip all the time. Even if I want to use my rod tip, I can still use it. This bait works. It works well. As far as gliding, I haven't got bit on it yet, so I can't say it works well as far as getting bit. But there's a lot of people didn't got bit on this bait, so I can say, like, I'm just giving y'all my honest opinion. I don't want to say I got bit on the bait that I didn't get bit on. I just test swimmed it, but it's an awesome bait. Next thing is soft baits. So for soft baits in the summertime, I'm gonna be using the Working Class 0 6-inch citizen. Also, I use this swim bait underground scent. It works well. I used it on some uniques. Before this cold front, I was fishing grass and I got bit by a 5.5, and I had been in this lake 4 times already, and I had finally figured them out before the cold front happened. So you already know what the cold front did. Pushed all those fish that was up shallow off that. So yeah, the Working Class 0 citizen. I ain't gotta go into detail about this. There's plenty of videos out there on YouTube telling you how this bait works, and it works phenomenal. So shout out to Mike for making a cool bait. Awesome bait at that. Also, I'm gonna be using some less expensive baits but still to get bit. For one, I'm gonna be using the Psychogear gear. It's a line through top hook. Especially when it comes to bed fishing. This bait is gonna piss off a lot of bass. And when they do get pissed off and fall up with the little brother, that's gonna get sucked up. It's a snack size gear. Top hook. Also use the 8-inch pulse tail. Probably like days like the day when the water is like 40, between 40 and 50 degrees. This bait get bit. I don't drag it on the bottom. Kind of just slowly retrieve it. It gets bit. Like, there's nothing else to say. It comes with a single hook. And these baits are fairly expensive. I mean, fairly inexpensive in the world of swim baits, and they're durable. So, if you want to get some soft baits, I would recommend getting these. And when it comes to fishing line, I swapped over from Sunline to Izorline XX. And I'm probably gonna be using this line for all applications, even soft baits, simply because it's a co-pilot. So it has the sink rate of fluorocarbon, it has a little stretch, but it's very abrasion resistant. Very, like mono or something, but like I said, it sinks like fluorocarbon and it has a little stretch. I used to use this, which is very expensive, for 2 spools of this at 670 yards. What it is, 840, because it's 15, 20 pound back there is 670. But you can get 2 spools of this for 1 spool of that at 200 yards, which I don't knock. Sunline is a good line, but when it comes down to big baits, it's not for me anymore. I've lost a ton of baits using this line, thinking that, hey, the fish are gonna see my line, so let me use something with a smaller diameter, which was wrong. Even at 20 pounds, like, it's just not big enough. I'm pretty sure you can use 25, but I'm not gonna use 25 because I don't like how much memory it has. It has a shit ton of memory, and it's just not for me. You know, other people use it at 25, and that's cool for them. Like, but for me, I prefer this. And that's about it. Like, if y'all have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer. Now I'm like probably like 4 years into swim bait, so I'm pretty knowledgeable about it. And that's about it. So if y'all have anything, just leave them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer.